Mike McCarthy, we know the head coach of the Cowboys, but they parted ways with offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, who liked to light up the scoreboard. So McCarthy was being interviewed about this, and he said some really curious things. First of all, he said, I want to run the damn ball so I can rest my defense. I don't desire to be the number one offense in the league. I want to be the number one team in the league. And I thought, well, why not both? Why not try to aspire to be the number one offense in the league? So Mike McCarthy is a guy who gets a lot of criticism. Some of it maybe not warranted, some of it is, but now it's all on him because he's going to go old school and run the damn ball. This is a passing league, as we know. Maybe that takes some of the pressure off of Dak Prescott. But if they disappoint, Lucy, this is all on Mike McCarthy.
Oh, absolutely. He also said something else that was like a little bit off the beaten path. He was like, he said, it's kind of hard to be fired up about making schedules every damn day. I tried to, but I feel like I'm back in my element doing what I feel like I do best. So he's probably really he's fired up about not making schedules anymore. So it's kind of like, this is just better than what I was doing. So there's that kind of a fired upness about that too. But I think that is why not just try to be the best team in general? Like the two kind of go hand in hand. So I feel like that's probably he's kind of hard to be fired up about making schedules. Yeah, schedule makers of the world. Well, right. Too bad for you. Mike McCarthy doesn't want to be you.
He's slowly turning to the old man right in front of us. I just want to run the damn ball, and I would never say, even if that's your thought process, I would never say, nah. Do you want to be the number one offense in the league? No. Want to be the number one team in the league. Buddy, it can be both. You don't have to make a choice here. But it will be fascinating to see now that he is taking over the reins whether or not the Cowboys improve or not, because that offense was very good. So, Bryan, I think it's fascinating to listen to Mike McCarthy, and I just wanted to check the pulse of what you think, what the fans think. He said he doesn't want to be the number one offense in the NFL. I don't know, the caveat was he wants to be the number one team. I get that. But he's going to run the damn ball. He's going to be calling plays on offense. Is he going to really go old school to a point here and maybe lessen the load on Dak?
Well, he's going to have to do something if his offensive line situation currently is not where it needs to be because of what Zach Martin's holdout has done. They're trying to get Terrence Steele, who's been very good at right tackle for them in the past. They're trying to get him healthy. They have, Tyler Broaddus, the center, is now dealing with an ankle injury. Tyler Smith, the left guard, was a really good left tackle last year, and now having to kick inside. And then Tyron Smith is towards the end of his career, and so he's got a little bit of a mess on his hands trying to get everything in place for his offensive line. By the time they get to the Giants game, maybe all that will be taken care of. But he might have to do some things that he talks about running the football. That's something that, they're capable of doing with Tony Pollard. He's not your conventional type of back. He's not a small guy, but he's not like what they had with Ezekiel Elliott, in the past. And Deuce Vaughn is a different style of back that they can run the ball with. So they're kind of trying to figure those things out. But to go back to the first question you asked me about Dak, anything to help him, continue to grow as a quarterback. Here he is going into year 8, but, there's still things that he kind of needs to protect Dak from. And if running the ball means protecting him, they're going to have to do that. Maybe that might be the easiest thing for them to do right now until they kind of figure out what their pass protection situation is going to be. If you believe in metrics, they were one of the best running teams in the league last year, and one of the poorest when it came to pass protection. So it might be something that they're going to have to focus on at least until they get the passing game where they need it to be.
Whoa, you can hear that. Whoa, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Bombshell. And then the crowd cheered for this statement. I think he knew where he was and the crowd, how they would react. And he wanted to make a statement, and the opportunity was brought upon him was like, okay, I'm going to take advantage of this, and I'm going to say how I feel. Not long before this happened, which was just now, there was an article about this, news about this, how James Harden is unhappy with Daryl Morey over his contract. Could make for an awkward situation as his preseason training camp rapidly approaches. Yeah, you could say so. I think that's it. The awkward situation was right there, avoided he will never play for another team that Daryl Morey has anything to do with. I think says it right there. I mean, that's is a liar. That is a bold statement. And I would ask him to elaborate, or a reporter out there. Could you elaborate on that? What exactly, it's unclear what sparked that would be maybe the headline. What a liar. Okay, what are the facts of the case there, James Harden? Oh my goodness. That is huge.
I mean, it's one thing to have a contentious contract renegotiation or trade talk, whatever that may be, but you rarely hear an athlete come out and be this demonstrative. And again, the crazy thing about this to me is that these guys have been known to be really tight and really good friends. There's a reason why that Harden is playing in Philly, and Daryl Morey is part of that reason. And Daryl Morey said he was going to work with James Harden to make him happy. James Harden is never really happy, I feel like, which is sort of the state of today's NBA. Players get unhappy very quickly. They want to be traded. But for what seems to have been a very close relationship to have devolved this quickly is something that is stunning to me. And I cannot wait. I know you always do social media deep dives and get to the heart of the story. I cannot wait, because eventually this story will come out, what happened, and I cannot wait to hear what went down here.
Jenks, who is your Monday MVP?
The Matildas, baby. If I could do a decent Australian accent, I would. That's one thing I'm terrible at, is accents, so I'm not going to do it. But I love the fact that we're talking about Australia being the host country here, along with New Zealand, as we know, and they've never made it this far. So imagine you're in your home country, you're hosting the Women's World Cup, and you get a PK to win it all, or at least to win this game and to move forward to a place you've never been. And also, your nickname is the Matildas. For me, that just puts it over the line here. We don't get the World Cup often, as we know, and with all due respect to all these other athletes, this was a team effort for the Australian women's soccer team, and in front of a home crowd to advance like this. Good for them. Australia women's soccer.
Okay, well, while Matilda was a great movie, and that's a great nickname for a team, my MVP is going to be in baseball. And sorry to Trevor Skowronek, but Cedric Mullins had the greatest catch and baseball play of the year. Catch of the year from Cedric Mullins. Even the call really jazzes you up, and it's like, this is the play of the year. He did not just do that. He could not have. I cannot believe what I have just seen. I watched that 100 times over and over again. How did he do that? Not only that, he then made sure that catch wasn't for nothing, because the game was just tied up again. Hit his own home run. He was like, nope, I'm going to rob one and then I'm going to hit one, so that I'm going to make sure this catch saves the day, and then I'm going to save the day once again with a home run. Those are the feats that, as someone behind me at Fenway probably jokingly said, ironically, but he said, how could you not be romantic about baseball? Yeah, that's true. You look at this and your blood just pumps for the game of baseball. And so that I appreciate very much. And Cedric Mullins is my MVP.